Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Armani and I'm very excited to be doing this video. I am just ready to hop into the YouTube vibe, the YouTube trend, whatever is going on, because I've been telling myself I've been wanting to do it for so long, and I think I'm getting really caught up in the fluff of things, and I just need to jump in and get started. I'll worry about the extras and the add-ons later, and I can perfect my technique later. But right now I just need to get the things that I want to talk about out of my head, out of my little notebook, and into the world, because I really do feel like people need to hear the things that I want to talk about, because I feel like it's very important. If you are new to my channel, if you've never watched any of my videos, which I encourage you to, because I feel like they're really helpful. I talk about personal growth. I talk about mindset growth. I talk about, changing your life, just building yourself up, especially if you've been in a place or a mindset that you don't want to be. You don't want to be the person that you are, or you want to try to grow more into the person that you're trying to become. You have come to the right place. I have been on a personal development journey for about, I would say, 3 years now, going into 2026, and my life has definitely changed. I have definitely changed, and don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near where I'm trying to be, but I'm nowhere where I was before. I'm a completely new person, completely new mindset, completely new thoughts, new environment, everything. Okay, and I'm just ready to talk about the things I'm ready to talk about. So this video, I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm going to be talking about, and if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Once again, I'm just trying to get the thoughts out. I'm trying to get the words out. I'm not trying to do too much with the editing and stuff like that. So of course I'm gonna try not to stutter as much, try not to do the filler words. I'm just trying to make it quick and easy for you guys. I don't want to make these hour-long videos. I kind of just want to make it 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes. Maybe that's too long. Maybe I'll shorten it to about 10, 20 minutes tops. Okay, I just really wanted it to be quick, to the point. I'm not trying to bore anybody. I'm really just trying to get people, and I'm trying to give people inspiration. I'm trying to get you energized. I'm trying to get you excited to be and work on the new person that you're trying to be, and give you good truths and good encouragement, and of course, Bible verses, because this is a Jesus stand page. We are not going to exclude him from anything. All glory be to the Lord. All glory be to God. Okay. So if you feel like you need this type of motivation in your life, if I am here for you. Okay. I really want to get into the Shira 7 type of vibe, where she's just talking every day about certain topics and aspects of a personal growth journey, and making sure that people understand the full aspect of everything. Okay, there are a lot of people who are stuck, and I used to be stuck and restless and hated where I was, hated the way I thought, and treated myself. And I no longer do that, and I don't want anybody else to feel like that. So I'm here to help. Let's get into it. If you didn't notice by the title, I'm gonna title this "Stop Overthinking but Rethink," or something like that. I don't know, but that's the topic of today's video. You need to stop overthinking and start rethinking. Now, before I start this video, I looked up what is the difference between overthinking and rethinking. I'll start with the negative first. So overthinking is the negative aspect of it, right? Of thinking, of using your brain, of taking information and just pondering it over and over and over again. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it from you really fast. I'm gonna read the Google definition. Overthinking is a destructive cycle of ruminating on past mistakes or worrying about the future, often driven by anxiety or perfectionism. The antidote is rethinking, which involves actively shifting perspectives, breaking down problems into actionable steps, and adopting a new, more constructive or objective lens. when you are in a negative mindset, it is very easy to think that you rethinking things or replaying things in your mind as, just thinking about it. But really, you're just replaying and teaching yourself to think about negative things over and over and over again. And it's so easy for people, even if you are a positive thinker, to just by default think about the negative thoughts. And we have to stop that if you are on a personal growth journey. Okay? Overthinking things is not going to change anything, because you're not thinking of new ways to think when you're overthinking. And that is what rethinking is. Rethinking is taking the things you already know and you're trying to pinpoint it to something new. That is rethinking. You're taking I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Sometimes I can get really excited and stumble over my words. So bear with me. So let me just go over my notes really quick. So my first thought that I had is follow your first thought. Your body won't lie to you. And this goes to intuition, your very first thought. When something happens, or let's say you feel triggered by something, right? You're trying to change, but you feel triggered by something. It is very easy for you to think, it's very easy for you to feel that triggering feeling. And because you don't know how to take that feeling, that trigger feeling, and attach it to a new perspective, you're gonna now second guess yourself. And that is overthinking. Now you're like, am I really feeling this feeling? Did they really mean that when they said that? Did they now you're overplaying and you're rethinking what somebody had said to you hours ago. And it's that's not helping you. You're staying stuck when you do that. So to stop overthinking, you need to rethink something. During my personal development journey, one of my major hiccups in my life was a victim mindset. And every time I felt like something was happening to me, I made sure to rethink it. This is not happening to me, but this is something that's outside of me happening for me. And that goes for positive and negative things. And so when I started to do that, I started to take a step back from things that were happening to me. And I had to, like I said, distance myself from it. What is this really showing me? Why do I really feel like this? And how can I make myself react to it differently? And that is how you rethink something. You take your step, you take a step back, you understand this underlying feeling, this denominator feeling, and you're attaching a new, I forget what the top of the fraction number is supposed to be called, but you're going to take that new aspect and you're going to tie it to the triggering feeling that you already have. And that will answer your question for you. Why do I feel like this? Why do I keep acting like this? Why do I keep feeling like, everything is happening to me? That's my experience. But I do feel like you can apply that to a lot of things. So if you feel like you are always second guessing yourself, and you second guessing yourself causes you to overthink, try to rethink. Try to take that old feeling and rethink it to something else. Okay? Hopefully everything I say in this video and future videos makes sense to people. I really want to encourage people to comment down below, ask questions, and hopefully down the line I'll be able to grow a bigger community. I have big dreams for this channel. I really feel like I'm not alone in this path, because I'm still on this path. Don't get me wrong. I've grown in my personal development journey, but I'm nowhere near done. I don't think anybody is done with growing as a person. So if you feel like anything I say is confusing, you need some clarification, I'm more than happy to break it down some more, talk about it more. I can talk about this topic all day, literally. Okay. Number 2, rethinking will keep you in confusion. Jesus, I'm talking too fast. That's what happens. Overthinking will keep you in confusion. Rethinking should keep you from making the same mistakes, which kind of goes back into what I was talking about before. When you are rethinking about, and let's just talk about the broad aspect of your personal development journey. when you are rethinking what you are, who you want to be, what you want to think like, what you want to act like, how you want other people to see you, how you want to be perceived in the world by strangers, you know, just by walking outside, you need to start rethinking literally everything. Literally everything. And I want to start, and I know like it's easier said than done, but it can be done. Okay? You do not have to be the same person that you are right now if you do not want to be that person. You do not have to think the same thoughts that you are thinking right now if you don't like the way that you're thinking. You do not have to talk to yourself or be around people or be at that job or be in certain environments that you do not want to be. And I'm talking to everybody who's like 18 and over, or like if you are somebody who's a bit younger but like independent, make sure that you are able to make these changes in your life, because I started this personal development journey well after I was outside of authority figures, because a lot of my authority figures shaped the way I thought, and I did not realize that the way I was shaped to talk to myself, to be perceived, was harming me. It was making me a victim in my life. So when I realized that I had to take what I already knew, what I already know about myself, all these years of conditioning, and I realized like, hey, like this, the way I grew up, the way I normally think, this is not working for me anymore, and I need to change it. So all of these aspects that I talked about, really think about what you are right now and who you are trying to be in the future. This is you right here, you're A, and this is your future self, B. We need to figure out the steps to get to B. And it's not going to be overnight, but like I said, it's very much possible. And break it down. Put it in like a priority listing of things that you want to change as of right now. Is it your money that you want to change right now? And honestly, I'm going to take that. Matter of fact, scratch that. Let's not even talk about that, because you have, in order for, let's say you do want to change the type of money you have. If you are a person that you are not wanting to be at this time, you're not going to make the money that you want. You're not going to manifest, you're not going to build the life that you want. I have to be careful with saying certain words, like manifesting and things like that, because it's growth. Okay? Some manifesting is kind of is another word for faith. And if you are somebody who is in a negative mindset, it's going to be very hard for you to have faith in things that seems kind of out of reach. And rethinking your life, rethinking the negative things in your life will help you have faith in the future. Hopefully this makes sense. Okay, number three. Moving on is dependent on focusing on who you want to become. And I've said this before. I'm just like, honestly, this is in no type of way. I was just writing thoughts down. Like I said, I'm trying to get this idea out to the world. Really, honestly, truly. So as I stated in the last point before, this is you, point A, and who you are right now, who you don't want to be, and this is point B, who this is your future self, who you're trying to what you're trying to be right here. Right? Moving on and rethinking is dependent on focusing who you want to become. So that means, what does that mean? That means you literally have to practice not focusing on the things that you are naturally good at overthinking. And unfortunately, people are naturally focusing on the negative. The people, like, really sit back and listen to yourself. Think about yourself when you overthink. Literally listen to other people when they're just spewing words, not really thinking about what they're saying. 9 times out of 10, it's all negative. Even if it's unintentional or intentional, it's 9 times out of 10, it's negative. And a lot of people like to be like, oh, I don't really mean it like that, so let me add a sliver of positivity on top of that to make it seem like they're not a bad, like, not, I don't want to say bad person, like a negative person. okay? Because everybody, good or bad, can be negative. It's really depending on your mood. But you have to, if you are in a constant state of negativity, you need to focus on rethinking those negative thoughts and focus on changing them into the positive ones. And like I said, this is easier said than done, but this is where like the affirmations come in. This is where the journaling comes in. This is where the real work comes in. And not necessarily external work. When you are on a personal development journey in this stage that I'm talking about, all of this is internal work. This is the personal part. You are doing this in isolation, y'all. You are doing this by yourself. You are doing this in your room. You're not telling anybody about this. You're not telling anybody about this. You're not telling anybody about your personal growth journey. You're just doing it for you. You're just doing it for you. Do not tell anybody that you're on a personal development journey. Do not tell anybody that you are trying to change your mind from negative to positive. Don't tell anybody. And I promise you, when you are getting better, when you become a little bit more comfortable with repurposing your negative thoughts into positive ones, people can tell. People will tell. But this is why you have to keep focusing, because when people can tell, they are going to try to remind you of who you once were. And you cannot be susceptible to that anymore. At this point, in this third point that I'm talking about, at this time, you need to at least be sensitive to the negative parts of yourself, so that you can understand that this is something that I'm trying to move away from. Even if you don't know necessarily how, even if you're not good at it, you should be, at this point, you should be able to notice, I need to step, that's not how I'm trying to think anymore. I don't even want to respond to that type of thoughts anymore. And this is what focusing on the new, this is what rethinking on the new feels like. This is the work of rethinking, focusing on in your mind what is negative and how to turn it into positive. And like I said, y'all, it is easier said than done. It's easy for you. It's going to be easy for you to be like, damn, like, it's going to be easy for you. You're like, scratch other people on the outside. Like, it's going to be easy for you yourself to tell yourself that you're a liar, that you're a phony, that you're an imposter, that you're not serious. You are going to be the first person to be telling yourself this. I promise you. And you have to be strong enough to tell yourself, that is not how I'm thinking anymore. You have the power to do that. I hope, listen, when I started my personal development journey, I did not realize that I had this power. I did not realize that I had this ability. And it's an ability. It's, like I said, y'all, it's so easy for people. People have been thinking in negative ways from childbirth, from childhood. And even if you grew up in a household where, you know, people are pouring into you, let's not act like we don't live in society where they're going to pour, you know, insecurities into you that are genuinely your own. So even if people are like, you know, even if you, like I said, even if you have people who are like positive in your mind, you're still going to look in the mirror on some days and feel like you're not enough, and feel like you're not good enough, feel like you're not smart enough, feel like you're not pretty enough, feel like you're not strong enough, feel like you're not wise enough. Okay. And another part I want to point, because like I said, I'm always going to insert God into my videos. This point here is also where you need to start praying to God. Pray to God for a new mindset. Pray to God for a new heart posture. Pray to God to show you what you're missing within yourself. Pray to God to take away things that are harming you, that you don't really know how to overcome. This is the beginning of changing your mindset and your personal growth looks like. I promise you, y'all. I promise you. Number 4, soon as you notice a pattern in your overthinking, in yourself and others, do not ignore it. Do not ignore it. And like I said before, it's going to be really easy for you to be like, oh, I'm not the person I say I am. I'm not the person that I'm trying to be. You're going to feel, in this point of their journey, you're going to be telling yourself things that absolutely do not align to where you are in life at this time. But that's not what we're focusing on. We're not focusing on what we don't have tangibly. We are focusing on the patterns. The patterns is what we do have. The thought patterns is what we do have. The emotional patterns is what we do have. The habitual patterns is what we do have. And I bring up other people in this point because even though this is a personal development journey, we are not in the world by ourselves. We are in a world with people who feel like they are familiar with us, who feel like they know you inside and out. Nobody knows somebody inside and out. And that's why I'm telling you, don't tell nobody about this personal development journey. No one knows you inside and out, I promise. Even if that's your bestest friend, even if it's your mom, even if it's your sibling, even if it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, no one knows you inside and out to the T. The way God knows you, the way you know you, when you realize that when you realize that you're being real with yourself, no one knows you. No one knows you. I don't care if people are telling you about yourself. Take a step back. And the reason I say this is because even if you feel like people are telling you certain truths about yourself, they are no longer true if you are working on focusing to be somebody new. Do they know this new person? No. So how are they going to tell you about yourself? On something they don't, on somebody they don't know, they have never met before, that you haven't even met before. I hope that makes sense, y'all. I really do hope that makes sense. And I said, soon as you see these patterns, these negative patterns, these overthinking patterns, you need to ignore them. You need to not reply. You need to not respond. At least not respond in the way that you usually respond. And usually that's no response. And it's going to be hard. You're going to feel weak. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to feel like an imposter. You're going to feel like you're being walked all over on. And honestly, you have lower your pride. Take a step back. This is not the time to be boastful. This is a time to be humble. This is a time to realize, this is a time for you to decrease yourself so that your future self can increase. Does that make sense? Ignore the old negative overthinking patterns. Do not pay them. This is energy, y'all. I'm talking about energy. This point I'm talking about is energy. You need to ignore the negative energy that is coming within yourself and it's coming from other people because it's all familiar. It's all going to feel comfortable. Stop being comfortable. Make yourself uncomfortable with the positive thoughts. I'm already at like 23 minutes, so I'm trying to push forward. Okay. Next is rethinking. Overthinking lowers your confidence. You're teaching yourself that you cannot trust yourself. And this is probably, I think I put this last because this is so important. Overthinking lowers your confidence. You're teaching yourself that you cannot trust yourself. When you overthink instead of rethinking things, you are teaching yourself that the person that you don't like is who you are. And let's say you're somebody who, even if you don't like who you are, it's almost primal to be that type of person. Let's say you are in that type of mindset at this time. You need to realize that this type of confidence is performative. And I'm talking to people who are in this mindset, who are in this type of attitude, who are in this type of energy, and you don't like it. If you don't like it, you need to realize that it is a performance. When you are acting like somebody you know you do not want to be, it is a performance. And you're low-key harming yourself. Not even low-key, you are harming yourself because you know subconsciously, this is not how I want to talk. This is not how I want to behave. I don't really think like this, for real. I don't really want to act like this, for real. In all honesty, in all truth, in God's all-seeing eye, I really want to be somebody different. And so in a way, like I said, even if you are out, even if this is your outward personality, you need to realize that that confidence that you have is not real. It's performative. And let's go back to, like, you know, a standard type of, you know, performance, right? Where you overthinking about the negative thoughts, you are not the confident person that you want to be. And for me personally, because like I said, my hiccup was victim mindset. My hiccup was victim mindset, and my hiccup was also like I'm a confident person already. Like, I'm a confident person, but I was not confident because I thought that my confidence equates to what I had in material things. Even though I felt like, even if I knew that I had confidence in my even though it's like I have quiet confidence, I knew that me shrinking myself was actively lowering my natural confidence that I already had within myself. And it was harming me, and it was teaching me, I was teaching myself how to be perceived. I was teaching other people how to treat me. I was teaching other people how to perceive me. And it almost 9 times out of 10, it never felt good. I never felt good by myself, in front of other people, around strangers, around friends who knew me. It did not feel good at all. And so because of that, I felt like I could not trust myself in any scenario, in any way, shape, or form. And that is not good, y'all. That is not good. And you need to and that's why rethinking is better. It's always better than overthinking, because rethinking will show you that the performance that you're putting on, however you're decreasing yourself or increasing yourself, especially when it does not align to the person B that you're trying to be, you're teaching yourself that you don't want to be there. You're teaching yourself that you're not confident enough to be there, that you're not going to put in the work. So you're outputting that energy, and other people are going to respond to it. And this is where personal development, like, kind of you have to take some accountability. You are performing in a way that you do not want to be perceived, and that's lowering the confidence that you really want in the person that you really want to be. Those are my 5 tips for this video. I really hope they make sense. I really hope that they help somebody. Like I said, I'm not going to be too big on editing. I'm not going to be too big on, like, the theatrics and stuff like that. I'm really just trying to, and maybe I'll work on that a little bit later on as I get more videos out, but I'm really just trying to get these messages out, because I really do feel like there are people in this world, especially if you're like me, like in your early mid-20s, like, if you are not where you need to be, if you're not where you're supposed to, if you just feel stuck, if you feel restless in any way, shape, or form, and you just want to change your life, this is the channel for you. Because I felt like that for so long. I felt stuck for so long, knowing that I wanted to be somewhere better. I wanted to think better about myself. I want people to perceive me better as myself. And to be honest, like, that, other people perceiving you is really, like, and this is coming from, like, a people pleaser. Maybe that's a goal for you, but, and that is a part of the personal development journey, how other people are going to look at you. But as a recovered people pleaser, I genuinely don't care what people think. Not as much anymore. Like, I really put a cap on how I am considerate towards other people's feelings now, because for so long I have decreased myself to increase other people's feelings, and that always left me exhausted, neglected, and, you know, it just led to self-sabotage. And I do not want that for you guys. I do not want that for the beautiful souls out there, for the beautiful hearts out there, for the beautiful minds out there. You can and you will change yourself. You just need to stop overthinking, and you need to rethink. rethink your thoughts, rethink your patterns, rethink your actions, rethink your confidence, rethink who you are supposed to be in this world. Ask God for help and trust yourself. Okay, because that's who else do you have in this personal development journey? No one but yourself. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you like it. Please like and subscribe. Please comment if you have any questions, if you need any more clarifications, if there are things that you want me to talk about. I have a whole bunch of ideas anyway, so I'm going to be trying to uploading almost every day, to be honest, and hopefully you guys like what I put out there. But I'll see you in another video. Bye.